Welcome to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Alex, and today we dive into a fascinating theme, or my favorite theme, shadows and light. I will show you what does that mean, how does it relate to our journey of becoming conscious leader, more aware, more happy, and just better human being. So let's find out. Shadows and light. These two elements are kind of foundation to our human experience. The light represents our visible strengths, achievements, qualities we are proud of, and the qualities we show to the world. Shadows, on the other hand, are more aspects of ourselves we often hide or deny. It's kind of like a dark side, and we believe those dark sides are undeserving and unworthy. Today I want to share a powerful story about a client of mine, let's call him John for this show, who faced his shadows and he emerged those shadows in his light. John was a classic type of three, we call them the achiever. He was driven by the belief, if I work hard enough, I know I can be the best, or if I work hard enough, people like me and love me. John was incredibly successful, constantly receiving praise and recognition from others, and people knew he's amazing. He was really good in everything what he did. He was a top executive in his company, and he was known for his hardworking, for his focused, for his adaptable nature, for his leadership skills. He was really great. He was a real high performer. But beneath his success lay a shadow, and that's what we discovered. John's shadow was the deep-seated fear of being seen as a failure, and sometimes he said I was scared that I will be discovered, and fear of feeling worthless without his achievements. This fear drove him to work excessively hard, really hard, long hours, constantly proving himself to others, and paradoxically he was trying to prove himself to himself. He was always performing, always on stage, always trying to be perfect, believing that his value depended solely on his accomplishments. And that is very dangerous. So one day John hit a breaking point. The cycle of proving himself led him to burnout and sense of emptiness. Felt like he lost himself. He didn't know who he is anymore. He couldn't recognize himself, and he didn't know what he wants. He came to me seeking help because he felt lost and he felt very disconnected. He wasn't sure what his true purpose or passion is. And he was really lost as a soul, as a human being. And even though he was very successful, he didn't feel it. So we explored the roots of his shadow, the childhood messages he received that love and attention came only when he excelled, or pushed by parents to perform better all the time, and he realized that he had internalized the belief that he was only worthy when he was performing and achieving. This was a profound moment of awareness because it wasn't his parents' fault. It was his misinterpretation of the situation, or when the parents ask him to perform better, if they push him, if they ask him to better at the time, and when he achieved progress, they loved him, praised him, celebrated him. But what he didn't realize was that they would love him. They will still love him the same or even more if he underperformed. As we worked together, John began to see the intuitive genius and that superpower hidden within his shadow, because they always have superpower. He learned that his drive and ambition were not inherently bad, but they needed to be aligned with his true desires and values so he can become more fulfilled. He started to embrace his authentic self and understanding that his worth was not tied to external achievements and external praise, but to who he was as a person. John's transformation was imagine like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. By seeing true to himself, like really start looking inside within, he began to use his drive for success to pursue his real passions and not just empty praise and external validation. He stopped performing for others, and that was a really important point, and he started living for himself. And this is not from selfish perspective. This is just to getting to know yourself, right? This shift freed him from the need to prove himself and allowed him to become the true star of his own life, not of other people's life. To me, John's journey is a testament to the power of integrating of shadows. Each shadow, when embraced, has intuitive genius and superpower, as I said before. For John, it was the realization that his worth was inherent and not dependent on external validation, of course. This newfound understanding brought a healthier balance to his relationships, to life, to his health, and making him also more genuine and driven and confident leader. And he realized that he started to communicate better, and also he connected with other people on a deeper level. I have a message for type 3s. So your value is not just about what you achieve. You are loved and worthy no matter what. By integrating your shadow, you can actually unleash your superconscious power and manifest life you truly love. Now let's dive to different types of shadows and how to integrating them so you can actually reach your true potential. We all have shadow, which is created out of one of the 9 wounds. Shadow are like dark side that all human beings have, and if you want to fully reach your true potential, authentic self, and become who you're really supposed to be, you must integrate your shadow to release your superconscious power. Now we will discuss the first type, the perfectionists. The perfectionists, their drive is I have mission in life. Type 1s are mainly driven by a strong need to be moral, decent, honest, and have integrity. They have a clear sense of right and wrong that helps them make all ethical, great decisions. They show high principles and they hold themselves to high standards of ethical behavior, excellence, precision. So they always look perfect. They usually know what's right, what's wrong. They work hard to make the world a better place. However, they can get caught up in trying to control themselves and their surroundings. So that's the danger. At their core, they deeply desire to be morally and ethically perfect, believing they will only be accepted, loved, and worthy if they meet extremely high standards. The other side of the coin is their core fear, which centers on anxiety about making mistakes or being fundamentally flawed. They are terrified of being seen as morally imperfect or wrong. They're terrified of failure. This fear creates an unrelenting internal critic that constantly judges their actions and also stopping them to do and progress, to do more and progress. I can give a quick example of my client. She was absolutely perfectionist in all kind of angles you can imagine. She wanted to start her business, and it was all online business. So she needed to start to learn social media, posts, and start to use different platforms. What happened? It took her 2 weeks to post one post with one picture, and she still didn't do it. She came to me after 2 weeks and she said, I can't post it. There's always something that I don't like about that, and I can always make it more better every day. So I'm scared to post it. So basically, this fear, this shadow, actually making them stuck and create some kind of paralysis a lot of time. Their fundamental desire is to be good, morally right, virtuous, and have integrity. The lost childhood message for type 1 is you're good and you're loved just as you are. They grew up in an environment where mistakes weren't allowed and which made them strive for perfection. So it wasn't a very healthy environment. The assumption is that they must maintain perfection to lead a meaningful life, earn the respect of others, and create what they want. The compensating strategy for type 1 is trying to quiet their inner critic by striving for perfection and controlling their environment. So what is actually not possible, because we know we can't control anything outside of us. Type 1 regained their power by embracing self-compassion and realizing they are lovable and worthy even with flaws. This change means letting go of the need for constant correction and learning to accept themselves. And that's the major journey for types 1. Let's look at type 2, the helpers. Their drive is I can make anyone like me. Type 2s are called the helpers because they always want to help. I'm sure you know some people like that. They always care for, they always support others, they always do everything for other people and not for themselves. They want to be loved, valued, and they believe that helping others, they will get the love and appreciation they need. At their best, they're caring, they're selfless, and very understanding. They truly care about others' well-being and always want to help without expecting anything back. But sometimes they have a hard time recognizing their own pain and needs, and that's the downside of that. They focus too much on others and they don't notice what is going on in their own life and with their problems. They believe they are only loved and valued when they are needed. They don't ask for what they need directly and hope others will notice and help them in return. The funny thing is I met a lot of people, they're always helping, they're always caring, but on the other side they're suffering and they feel like people don't care about them. And there is downside of that when we can become demotivated, sad, not appreciated, and we can feel this way because we are type 2, we are helpers, so we try to help other people, but we didn't actually admit that we forgot to look at ourselves and look inside. Usually they don't like receiving money or payment for their help and have a strong sense of what they must do to be loved and what counts as love. For them, having their own needs and goals seems selfish and bad. So really think about that if you have any signs of the helper, because it can take you downhill into focusing too much on others and other people's problems and try to help them and solve everything for them without you actually helping yourself. You know about the airplane and the mask, right? In the plane, when something happens, you need to take the oxygen mask and put it on your face first. So that's the same thing here. You need to help yourself first to be able to actually help the best way to other people. The gift of type 2 is they're strongly motivated to be honest and consistent and act with integrity. They can see the good in everything. And type 3, the achievers, we already learned from John's story, so I'm not going to get deeper onto that. And we have type 4, and they are romantics. So we have the last one, and the drive for romantics is no one understands me because I'm unique. Type 4 feel their emotions deeply and have strong sense of who they are. They always try to be true, try to be authentic, and try to be themselves. They like to look inside. They often express their feelings in creative ways, so they try to really get to know themselves. At their best, they are very creative and in touch with their feelings and emotions, and they can inspire others with their realness. So they're people that you just feel so great around because you know what to expect from them. They are always real, they are themselves. They see themselves as different from others and value their rich inner world. They trust their gut feelings, what is great. They really develop the intuition and understand how to deal and show their emotions and unique self. The primary fear of types 4 is they are most afraid of having no identity and feeling like they don't matter. They're scared of being ignored and thought of as unimportant. Their fundamental desire is to be seen as real, special, and one of a kind. The lost childhood message for type 4s is I see you and understand you. They grew up in place where they were only praised for being unique, pushing them to always seek individuality and ways to express themselves. They were praised probably too much for everything. The assumption is thinking they need to create a special identity that makes them different from others, and then they will be loved and appreciated. They feel like they're writing their own life stories. They always try to make it unique and try to make it better, unusual. And the compensating strategy for type 4 is often trying to make up for their fear of not being important by developing a unique identity and embracing their deep emotions. They want to be attractive enough to be loved and fix what they think is wrong with them. So they try to be always seen in a better light and as a different and as a unique. The gift for type 4s, they can share deep truths about being human that are beautiful and moving, and they really can go deep, and they can have really deep conversations. They are in tune with their inner feelings and impulses, which makes them very intuitive. Intuition is amazing. That's really helping them in their life and in business or life journey. They regain their power by being like a phoenix rising from the ashes, by seeing their own worth and beauty in their identity. And they need to see they are different, they're creative, and they're proudly showing their individuality. The highest level of type 4s accept their true self and show their uniqueness without needing approval from others. And that's an important message, because they stop thinking what other people think about them. And they stop thinking they are more flawed than everyone else and become free from focusing too much on themselves. They just let it go. They are admired for their creativity, deep emotions, and they inspire others a lot, and especially on the journey to authenticity. So really think about that. Where do you sit? Are you the achiever? Are you the romantic? Are you perfectionist? Or are you the helper? If you need to go back, just listen to the podcast again, just a quick explanation of each type, and really think about that, what that is, what is that shadow, what is that message, what is that doubt, what is that fear that you truly have inside from different perspective or from those 4 different types. Awareness is the first step on the journey to integrating the shadow. If you can create awareness about your fears and doubts and things that you are really afraid of, or things that you don't want other people to see, the things that you don't want others to discover, that is the shadow part, and that can be bring into light and can be integrated. Think about that, go back, try to understand those 4 types, and let me know, how did you go? Where do you think you sit? Who you are, what your shadow can be, and I will be happy to have a conversation about that. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Conscious Leadership Podcast. If you find this story about John inspiring and this conversation important, please share it with others who might benefit from this. And remember, embracing your shadows and stepping into your light is a journey worth taking. Until next time, stay conscious and lead with your heart. If you want to continue your journey of transformation, join me on my website, thementoringeffect.com. Watch for all free resources on the page, or join our 2 programs. We have Limitless Mind Foundation Program, or we have Limitless Mind Immersive 2-day retreat and 90-day program, where you can start the journey of fulfillment and self-discovery. To find out more, schedule a quick 15-minute call with me. I will be happy to get you on discovery call and learn about you and what you want to achieve. And if you don't know what you want to achieve yet, that's okay. We will find out, because sometimes we need to remove and integrate shadow, and we need to move out from that subconscious program we run and limiting beliefs and limiting thinking and emotional patterns, and then we can create new dreams and new visions. So stay tuned for more episodes where we continue to explore conscious leadership and transformation. Until then, keep shining your light and embracing your shadows.